Importing 3ds Max file to Lumion. So we have a finished project of a villa design that is done using 3ds Max and V-Ray, and we want to visualize that project in Lumion. First thing that we will do is that we will move our project to the center origin of 3ds Max where x equals 0 and y equals 0. We can group everything and move that to the center, like that. So our main building is right above the origin. The next step we will do is that we will convert all these V-Ray materials to standard materials, as Lumion can only read standard Max materials and apply its diffuse map to Lumion. So as you can see, we have these V-Ray materials applied to our project, and we want to convert that to standard. To do that fast and easy, we will use a free plugin that is recommended by Lumion on their website, and I will provide the link for that page and the plugin as well in the description of this lecture. Down here on this page, if we press Material Converter, it will download that plugin. Simply download and extract it. When extracted, you will find a small file and a PDF that explain what it does. We will simply drag that small file to our 3ds Max viewport and drop it there. Then this window will appear. It is so simple. Convert what we want. We will choose the whole scene. To material of type, we will choose Scan Line, which is the standard materials of 3ds Max. And then we will press Convert. Give it a while till it converts all the V-Ray materials to standard materials. When it's done, it asks us if we want to see the log file. We press yes, and that is the list of all the changes done to the file. Now back to our file, we can see it is now changed and we can't see the diffuse map in the viewport. But if we pick that material, we will find that it is now a standard 3ds Max material and we can show it in viewport like that. Same goes to the street materials and all. Now that our file is converted to standard material, it is a good idea to save our Max file to twinvilla_standard_materials.max. And now let's export our file to FBX format by pressing File, Export, and Export. Make a new folder for FBX files, give it a name, and click Save. In the FBX settings, we will choose Autodesk Media and Entertainment. And in the Embed Media category, tick the option Embed Media to include the photos used for materials in the FBX files and press OK. Allow it to save. Then it tells us about warnings and errors if there are any. Just press OK. And now we have our FBX file ready to be imported to Lumion. Now let's launch Lumion and we can choose a plane as our starting scene. Let's press Import New Model by pressing here. Go to our FBX location, select it and press Open. Then Lumion will ask for the model name that we want it to be inside Lumion. And if we want that import to be placed in which category folder inside Lumion, we can put in a new category folder and name it Main Building. Import Animation, we will leave it to off for now. Import Edges or Lines, we will leave it to off and press OK. Give it a minute to load, and there it is. Our file is imported and ready to be placed. Once we click anywhere in the scene, it will be placed on the ground, and another copy of that import will be ready to be placed again. We don't want that, so we will not click anywhere. We will just switch to select by pressing that arrow here called select. Or we can press escape on the keyboard. And now our model is loaded into Lumion with most of the materials that was applied in Max. As you can see, materials that uses bitmap photos got imported perfectly. Other materials that uses procedural maps, like the procedural tiles that Max produces, will not work here. Notice that for the pools here, they are underground, and the main land of Lumion here blocks it. So we will need to dig that ground in Lumions to show all the things that are underground. We will learn to do that later on. Another thing is that our main street got buried under the Lumion ground, and we will need to select that building and move it a bit upward so the streets rest above the ground. Simply select the imported model by clicking Select and Move Up button. Click on the blue pivot point and drag while pressing Shift to move up very slowly, just to make streets appears above the ground. And there we can see our model and streets in their correct position. And now we can save our file from here and press Save As. Villa Start and press Save. We will press Build to go back, and now we are ready to move on to work on our projects in the next lecture. Okay, one more thing before we move to the next lecture. A new feature comes with Lumion 10 and above is that now we can import Max files directly without the need to export to FBX. But to use these features, 3ds Max must be installed on the computer you are using, as Lumion will use that to create its own FBX file in the background. To do that, we will open a plain scene, go to Import, and here are the list of files that can be imported to Lumion, and we can see now that we have .max here. So let's go to our Max Files folder and import our model and press Open. And the same window appears to give a name and category for our model, but this time we don't have import animation. Press OK and let it load. It took about 4 minutes to load the model on my computer, so it is slightly slower than the FBX. But it's working fine, we can use that.